Hey, listen, I just want to call out one person.
And I hate myself a lot.
But stop. You're getting punched in the dick.
There needs to be more Street Shark references.
I say who?
That's funny as hell.
Okay. I fixed it. Don't worry about it. We'll do that all over again. Okay. I fixed it. Don't worry about it. Ready for this?
Hey, listen, I just want to call out one person.
And I hate myself a lot.
But stop. You're getting punched in the dick.
There needs to be more Street Shark references.
I say who?
That's funny as hell.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Underqualified and Overcompensated Podcast. I am your host with the least, most Rhodes, always riding the line of sub-mediocrity and disappointment and self-loathing, plus a little bit of shame, just sprinkled in there on top with a whole lot of knee pain. I am Rhodes. To my left, your right is no one, because Rico will be on in a minute, hopefully. And we will go from there. Right now, you have just me, which is fine. It's not always that how I like to go, but I've done it before. Today's episode is Where in the World is Stimulus San Diego? I like that. I like it. It's great. It is a solid title. Rico came up with it. It's great. Where is our stimulus checks? I would like them. I have some things that I want to spend that money on that doesn't have to do with me being a normal adult. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. So yeah, well, where is it? What's going on? Let me know. Yeah, I just want things. That's all I want in life. I just want to be able to buy things. That normal adult. I want to have adult money is what I'm trying to say, people. I want to have adult money that I can spend on childlike objects, so I can feel like less of an adult. So simplistic things in life. That's all I'm trying to find, truly. But such is life. Never really works out that way. So we have the stimulus checks. They've been changing left and right. They're always coming up with certain things, depending on how much money you're going to get. It's $1,400. It's $1,200. It's $800. The latest that I heard was that it is $1,400 per person in your household that is in there. So for my wife and I and our two children, we would get $1,400 each. That is a lot of money. That is $4,200. No? $5,800? Math is hard, people. Math is hard. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. I don't want to take the time to do it. You just be looking at me like doing the mental math. Oh, yeah. Right? That's pointless and useless. Hopefully it comes soon. There's a lot of people that could use it. There's almost a point of redundancy when it comes to having the stimulus check because it helps people at a point, but then you go another 6 months without providing it, and the people are back in there. That little $1,400, $2,800 that you get for dual families that don't have a job because of COVID, it got canceled or whatever it may be. You know, they got laid off because of different things. It's not going to work out as well. They should have just done a monthly payment, like a lot of the other countries did. They kept people in their homes. They did a shutdown, but then they provided an income, a government income, granted, but an income nonetheless. So, yeah. Andy, bite. Click the thing. Just click the thing, Andy. Join on in. But yeah, so hopefully the stimulus checks happen, and we'll go from there. It's about time, right? Another topic: bombs. There are bombs. There's always bombs. There's always things that are going to be bombed, and things that have bombs that are going to bomb other things. Biden drops some bombs, or the government, the administration, drops some very high explosives on targets in Syria. And yeah, I don't know why people ever thought that this massive industrial complex would ever change. Oh, we have a quick little guest. Ladies and gentlemen, the designated lawyer of the Underqualified and Overcompensated podcast.
Yeah, it's apples.
This is the Uno legal team, which is Andy and his small baby. As I just previously stated, he's the legal team, not the tech IT team, because he can't unmute his screen.
Shut up. Yes, I can.
There we go.
I have a lot of things going on, as you can see.
Oh, always you got
apples for babies is a difficult task. It really is.
Is there a hockey game currently on today, or are you just wearing that for?
I was playing hockey with my son earlier, and he demanded that I wear this, or I couldn't play. So.
Oh, was he wearing his?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He will wear his for fun.
It's a fair trade.
Yeah, he will wear his for fun. Just so you know, he will walk around on days where there are no hockey games in his wild jersey. So
I love it. That's great. I mean, wear what you will, right? If show the world what you love.
And whatever toddlers don't throw a fit about wearing is always a good outfit. Let's be real.
You can wear what you want. I don't give a shit.
There's this.
Yeah, I actually have that same exact thing too. So, hi, sweetheart.
No, you're gonna be shy. Okay, you can sit down.
Who's that strange bald man? Production value.
Yeah, there we go. We're appealing to the 1 to 5 year old audience right now.
Yeah, 2 twos. We try to do our best.
Yeah, I'll stay on as long as I can. Though. I gotta
great.
go taxes thing, and you disappeared. And you're saying I'm not the tech guy?
Hey, my camera is sitting in a pouch on the wall that I nailed there.
Speaking of,
hey, little man,
we have a T-shirt over a hockey jersey with like jogger pants on. Like,
T-shirt over a hockey jersey.
yeah,
So he's like, I'm wearing this jersey regardless.
yeah. Oh, now we're gonna jump.
It's all right. My wife always yells at me because she's like, change Ray out of her pajamas. I'm like, okay, we're not going anywhere, right? No. So I just grab 2 things and throw it on her. She's like, that doesn't match. I'm like, who cares? It's just us in the house.
Yeah. No, dude.
I care.
She was naked.
For life, by the way.
Hey, Ashley.
It doesn't matter what she cares.
Hi, Emmy.
And then in her sweatpants, and I put cowboy boots on them, and then she gets upset. She's like, that doesn't go together.
I'll get you an apple. Go play. Go do something other than bother me.
that is the father statement of a lifetime.
Go do literally anything that's not right here.
Yep. Go do anything besides in front of me. Traffic included. Just figure it out.
Okay. Catch.
As Andy beams his child with an apple.
Don't throw it at me. What are you? You wanted it. We're playing
Good
apple
throw.
right now.
Good throw.
No. Oh, I made it a game. So.
Oh,
So we're gonna watch.
Kenny, welcome to the show, Kenny. How are you doing, buddy? Miss you. So, how's life going? Of the fast-paced Idaho lawyering,
Dude. So Idaho is currently like the only state not having jury trials, and we're about to start again.
not
So
having
that's
jury
like-
trials. So has it been Zoom?
No, so we have had 0 criminal jury trials since March of 2020.
So have you just been postponing them, or have you been doing like the judge stand-in?
So I didn't know we were going to turn this into the legal one. So here we go.
It's not, but I'm curious.
So you have a 6th Amendment right to a trial by a jury
Yes.
of your peers. So it's your decision. If you want to waive that, you can have a trial with only a judge. That's fine, but it's your choice.
Yeah, which is most civil court.
Yeah, which is most civil court or some civil court. Some criminal trials will do that, but really it depends on the person.
Mhm.
Most people have stuck by wanting a jury, which fine. That's their choice. But that just means, if they've wanted a trial since October, now they've waited an extra 5 months to get that.
So these people have just been waiting
Yes.
for a jury. Well, they got the choice. So, like, do you want to go in front of a judge, or do you want a jury? And they could choose. And if they chose jury, they'd have to wait.
Yes, they've had to wait.
So that's just more time that you're spending in jail.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, unless you're out on bail, of course. But
Yeah.
I love the mute and yell at children.
Dude, with Zoom, I've become a pro. Let's be real.
Hey, you're doing great. You're doing great. Did you notice, by the way, my the status that I stole from you?
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Damn it. I saw you posted it. I was like, done. And I started scrolling through your page. I was like, Lawyer Cat. Lawyer Cat's a good one.
Yeah. Dude, it's so funny. Lawyer Cat was so funny.
Well, I watched the video of the guy who had the cat filter. And it's just this older dude that he's like, I'm not doing this, I promise.
I'm ready to proceed. I'm not a cat. That was my favorite part. Not that he said he was not a cat, that he was willing to go through with the hearing as a cat.
As a cat. They're just like, yeah, obviously my client says not guilty. He is also not a cat.
Yeah.
Could you imagine watching that? It's like the defense is making their argument and he goes, Your Honor, I object. And it's just the cat just fucking pissed.
Now, Your Honor, he's committing perjury. You're welcome.
Well
You're
done,
welcome.
fine, sir. Well done. I'm just a small-time chicken lawyer.
I ain't no big city chicken lawyer.
So how else is Idaho going nutso right now, or is
No, so most of the states starting to return back to normal, and really the only place that's still trying to make masks happen is like Boise.
well,
So
that
the
makes sense.
county as a whole took away the mask mandate like last week or 2 weeks ago or something like
Oh, really? So you got people roaming no masks?
Yeah, so Canyon County's never had it. The county
Oh, really?
the county itself never put a mandate in. They basically said individual cities can make those decisions, and most of the cities were like, we'll let the businesses decide. So if the businesses wanted to put a requirement for a mask, they could.
Yeah, so obviously, walking into Walmart, people were wearing masks, but
yeah,
not everywhere.
I'm pretty sure every single Walmart had those signs up in front saying you must wear a mask. Same with like Fred Meyer, Winco, Costco, all of those you have to wear a mask to go into.
Any big corporate stores.
Yeah, but a lot of like mom and pop shops never.
Gas stations.
Yeah, never. They say they recommend it, but they never require it. So really the only place where it's like, no, you have to wear a mask is Boise.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me, honestly. Don't mind my polar bear on the couch.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Are we doing a kid segment? Emmy, come here.
Yeah, I guess so.
Come here.
Say hi.
You say hi?
There's another kid.
Say hi.
Say hi to Annie.
Hello. Hello, sweet little one.
Boop, boop, boop.
Hi, sweet little one.
All right. You go take a nap, Stinky.
You say hi?
Bye-bye, baby. Oh, hug. Oh, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, this is life of a dad. Bye-bye, baby. Bye. No, so one thing that kind of the most recent thing, this is the Idaho podcast, people. I'm emotionally invested. You may or may not be looking at a future governor of Idaho, 20 years from now. I'm just saying.
You?
I have been tempted to throw my hat into the ring of sorts. Into politics. I've thought about it. It has been a tempting fate. I would like to finish my military time, but I've thought about it because I love my state, and my state has gone almost too conservative to where it hurts. And I think, maybe some common sense laws would maybe help. Not anything based off religion, God, and or the fact that I think I have this freedom. Some minor things. I just want gay couples to be able to be married and protect their weed farms with guns. That's all I want. That's all I want.
How dare you?
I just want trans gay couples to be able to shoot intruders on their weed farms. That's all I want.
And have their adopted children help grow the farm.
100%. That's all I want in life. I feel like that's a fair thing. But then Idaho's where you're like, what? Not only no marijuana.
Children bothers me.
Yeah, Idaho's like no marijuana, but no medical marijuana because that's the devil.
Because how dare you? How dare you
want to not feel pain from your cancer?
How dare you want to eat?
Yeah, here's Idaho in a nutshell. Hey, you don't need a concealed carry license to carry a weapon anywhere. But you also can't have weed ever.
It's true.
Like that's pretty much how it works. Like gun freedom, no recreational fun. Unless it's salmon fishing or kayaking, that shit's worse. Unless we whitewater rafting or hiking, not allowed in my state. I've always been tempted. As of late, I've been getting more into politics, researching and just staying up on things. And sometimes, the one thing that drives me nuts about politics, which is part of our show, is that there has to be a left and a right. You have to be one side or the other. And I feel that there should be more candidates willing to be in the middle and be like, hey, I agree with both sides. I like this and I like that. I don't like that and I don't like that. Elect me for governor and I will make everyone less unhappy. Not happy, can't please everyone, but less unhappy, right?
Well,
I feel like I would be a governor that can make the rural ranchers of Idaho that I'm not going to fuck with them, but then also the progressive liberals in Boise not feel like I'm trying to oppress them.
Right. Well, I think one of your main campaign stances could be, I'm not either one of those guys.
Yeah.
I'm not in either of their party.
Yeah. Fuck those guys. Candidate Rhodes, what position are you running on? Are you a Republican or a Democrat? Yes.
Oh, no.
Are you a Republican or a Democrat?
I'm purple.
Goddamn 47.
Red and blue. I'm purple.
Yeah, fucking purple. I'm not even yellow. I'm not libertarian because I like guns.
That scares people. That scares people.
Yeah, the libertarian does scare people. Like, it's saying you're independent makes people more comfortable. Just being like, oh, I'm independent. But you say you're libertarian and people are like, oh, so you want us to be able to order an M1 Abrams off Amazon overnight?
You want us to be able to get friggin' Humvees and shit.
Well, you can already do that.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, they're just not going to put a machine gun on it.
Yeah, fully equipped.
Yeah.
A fully equipped military Humvee.
Yeah, you can go to the military sale out at Gowan and buy yourself a used Humvee.
Yeah, but it's
for like $20,000.
bucks.
That's crazy. Yeah. It's not gonna have a gun on it.
Yeah, it's gutted and boring.
Yeah, but you're also in Idaho, which means you can then go down the road to the gun store and buy that huge gun and put it on the fucking Humvee.
That's true. I can go to the guy who bought the gun off the Humvee and then reattach the gun onto the Humvee.
Literally.
And he'll probably do it for me too.
Yeah. You could literally just contact any of our old high school rednecks and they'd be like, yeah, no, I have one like that.
Here you go. Here's water.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe in 15 to 20 years, you may see Governor Rhodes running or candidate, Rhodes running for governor. I may have to start small. I may have to go with, like mayor or, congressman,
Run for state legislature. Just figure out where you live in and then just go for state legislature first.
Well, like since my degree is going to be in history education. So I was thinking, running for state superintendent.
Yeah.
Department of Education first, because the fact that Idaho is ranked the 46th, I think, last I checked in education.
Let's see.
Not great.
Apparently I have caps lock on.
Just shout it at Google. If you shout it at Google, it'll listen.
I get better answers that way.
Who's ranked where in education, Google?
Idaho education ranking.
Chris Woodson, you have a point. So here's the thing with that. I want you to be able to order it.
You're fine.
But then I also don't want you to be able to order it. Because I want you to have that freedom. And there's no need for you to have that. But then also, you should have the freedom. It's a catch-22, right? I think you should have the freedom to order the weapon. I think you have the common sense not to. Lack of confidence is what's wrong with most politics. And one thing that I would bring to the table of governing a certain state would be that I don't give a shit about your political ties. Even if I did run as a Republican and they were like, oh, you have to follow, Governor Rhodes, we need you to follow this, when you go vote in the Senate we need you to follow this, because that's party lines. And I'll just tell them to go fuck themselves because I've been a part of an organization for way too fucking long to listen to that shit. Spankin' Monkey is on Xbox, but we mostly play PC nowadays. He uses his Xbox for more MMORPG games, our FPS games we play on PC.
Yeah, PC Master Race.
PC Master Race. You are correct. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. think it has a whole new meaning when where the country bald guy from Idaho starts saying PC Master Race.
Nah, it's okay. I'm console minority, so I get bonus points.
Well, I mean, I have those too, so does that count? Like, I'm bi gaming. I'm trans gaming. I have both.
That's fair. I like that.
I just don't use
I like
one
that.
of them.
Trans gaming.
Yeah, I'm trans gaming. Trans console. Yeah. So did you find the education ranking? I know you were yelling at Google.
No, I can't find anything current is the thing. Everything I'm finding is like 2018. So you're better at it than I am. I'm sorry.
Maybe I just click on the top thing.
See, the top thing for me said we're 51st, and I have a hard time believing we're under Puerto Rico.
All right, so February 2021. All right, let's see here. Most educated states. Idaho is 37th, according to this.
Okay, and see, the U.S. News World Report is putting them at 33rd, so somewhere in there. They're somewhere in there in the bottom.
Yeah, 37th ranked. Educational attainment and quality of education. Educational attainment, so being able to acquire education in the state of Idaho, they're ranked 32nd. And then the quality, they're 47th. So overall, between those two scores, they ended up averaging out at 37. But the quality of education is 47. Now, I didn't really realize how bad the education was until I got out of it, as I'm sure you did as well.
Yeah.
And you start going into college, and then you realize what is reality that you were taught, or what is reality and then what you were taught. And granted, it has nothing to do with our teachers. Our teachers that we had in high school were amazing. They were some of the best educators that I've ever been taught by or worked with.
Right. I'd say that's fair. That's a fair thing to say.
I loved all of our teachers that we had. Mr. Usog and Miss Weatherby, hands down, some of the best historical and government teachers that I've ever had.
Crum was just fun.
Yeah, I never had him. I never took his psychology class, so
you missed out.
Yeah, even though now one of my minors is going to be in psychology, I should have taken it. But no, I never took his class. I had Miss Webb, and you had the entire English department, which was top notch. They were amazing. Miss Thomas, Miss Lovelady, but the teachers were good. But the thing that a lot of people don't understand is that teachers get caught in education plans.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Those education plans are mandated by the state. So the state says, here's this old fucking book. You teach what's in the book. And then you read the book and you go, this has been disproven though. Like, let's say history books. You're like, they've proven that Columbus didn't, like, this is not factual. And they're like, well, it's in the book. So you got to teach it.
Our book stops in the 80s.
That too, and then you have to fucking rely on Google for 2010.
There's 35 years of history missing from my book. How am I supposed to know what's going on right now? The last thing I know is the USSR fell.
Well, imagine when I start teaching, like I'll be like, it'll end at Y2K.
Yeah, dude, I legitimately had a book like that where the end of it was, and what's going to happen during Y2K?
We had one in high school.
Yeah.
We're like, it's 2011. It's been 11 years. You can't give me a new book. And it's just been 11 years. This has been some of the most progressive, technological, historical 11 years ever.
Yeah.
From 2000
Cody.
to 2011.
We don't need to know about it.
No, it's unimportant. We lived it.
We
were living during it. Why do we got to read about it?
Yeah, because how it impacted the world that we may not know about, be damned. We should know it all.
Wait, at 15, weren't you watching the news all the time?
Yeah, obviously.
You gotta pay attention.
MSNBC, BBC World News. Like, I had all of that up at the same time on different screens because in 2005 we could do that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember, being a sophomore in high school, 2008, and being like, I need to get home. Can practice be over? Because I got to go home and watch Tucker Carlson. I just gotta really bad.
I need to go watch Larry King, man. Like we just gotta get going.
Yeah, like I just really need to get back and watch some CNN because that's what I need in my life. But yeah, the education system, I truly believe that a lot of things in the world can be changed through positive education. People ask how hi. People always ask how you can change the economy and pay discrepancies and crime and everything else. And it's education. And I don't mean college. Not everyone needs a college education, a traditional 4-year school. Trade schools are fantastic. I'm talking about a solid foundation of solid education from middle school to high school. Everything you learned in elementary school, it just builds you up to be not a fucking idiot in life. Like, your colors and your shapes and like simple math.
Do you?
No, I said other people do, not me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Had to clarify.
No, I don't. No, I put tampons in bullet wounds. I don't need to know shapes.
Circle goes in circle.
Yeah, I know how to stab needles into people to make them not die. I don't need to know shapes. I barely know organs at this point. I just know that's the squishy thing that goes beep, 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 and I need to keep that going beep, beep, beep. But the high school education is so important, middle school and high school education, because I remember all the time watching the news or seeing something on Facebook, and I remember when I look back and I remember learning that in middle school. And I remember learning that in that class. And they're formative years that are very important. And if you have basically how it is in the United States right now, we have education departments across the United States and then inside states and then locally that don't give a shit. They're just trying to do the bare minimum and not actually teach our children updated things. They're trying to teach them the same thing that they've learned for the past 40 years and not worry about every year how it's changing. And they're not trying to make them think. People hate history because they're just yelled dates and times at the children. History is not supposed to be used as you're not supposed to just memorize dates and facts. History is supposed to teach you life lessons. That's what the point is. You look at a historical event and you go, this is how these people persevered through it. This is what led up to it, so you can identify that in the future. Like, that's the point of history, not being like, oh, in 1812, there was a war. Okay, with who? Canada and France. Okay, cool. What the fuck about the War of 1812? Like, what else happened? What was the significance?
Yeah. Are you saying that we're supposed to learn mistakes from the past to not repeat them in the future?
I read it on like an inspirational poster once.
Okay, I thought I saw that with something with a cat on it at one point who was not in a court hearing, but they all blend together anymore.
Yeah, I think I also saw it on a male prostitute's butt. I think it was a tattoo. I think.
Oh, so were you looking in a mirror or?
Well, no. Mine's like on my inner thigh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Different. Okay.
Yeah. And mine actually is the cat inspirational quote of "Hang on." Just hang in there.
On your inner thigh.
On my inner thigh. Yeah. That way, when I'm wearing my army PT shorts and they ride up and I'm like doing pull-ups or sit-ups, you can just see hang in there.
Hang in there. All right.
When I'm doing my squat jumps.
And it's going to suck with these two, but I got to run.
It is. I'll see you later, buddy. Thanks for jumping on. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I think education has always been a very passionate thing for me. I want to be an educator. I want to be a teacher. And it's important. I don't think enough people put enough value into education. They see school as unimportant. And I agree with you as of right now. Right now, high school is not important because people in charge don't put enough weight on it. They don't try to make the kids think. And even through learning, like you're relying on the teacher to then make it interesting because the teacher wants to make it interesting. It shouldn't be on the teacher. The curriculum should be embedded into being helpful, even if you have a shitty teacher, because there's no such thing as a bad student. It's bad teachers. That is the truth. If you have bad teachers, you will have uninformed and uneducated students, but not bad students. We need to be able to teach kids how to learn rather than have them figure out for themselves what the best way for them to learn is. And then we need to create curriculums that help the teachers do their job rather than giving them a bland fucking curriculum and making the teachers have to figure out how to translate this in an interesting fashion to their students. And I know what that's like. I'm not an actual teacher at this point, but I was a youth pastor. And you know how fucking hard it is to teach teenagers, 15-year-old about the Bible. It is difficult. And you have to find ways to make it interesting. Sadly, it's just how it works, especially in this day and age. Some of the stories are interesting, right? If you look at it in a historical fact, the fight of David and Goliath, the walls of Jericho, they're interesting. But you have to find a way to cross that barrier into their mind's imagination so they can see it and they can then learn the points of it. And then they just learn the story, and then you don't get the inspirational parts of, the scripture. But that's with the Bible. But it's the same thing with history. So what? You know the dates. You know what happened, right? You know the date of the Alamo. You know what happened at the Alamo. Cool. Do you know about the struggles that they had inside the Alamo, that it went on for several days without food and water, and they tried to escape, and they evacuated the men and women, and Santana was outside. And there's so many things to that alone. And then there's better ways to teach, better ways to help our teachers. That's a good thing. And then I think there needs to be an overhaul of our education curriculum. Why in the world are we still teaching teenagers today that Columbus discovered America? He didn't. A lot of adults my age know this. He didn't discover America. Columbus was a fucking asshole, and he shouldn't be celebrated. We shouldn't have a day. We shouldn't have a Columbus Day. And people have moved to make that National Indigenous Peoples Day. I'm for that, except even then, Columbus never stepped foot in the continental United States. He was in the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, Cuba, around that area. The man never stepped on the continental United States. So if anything, it should be, Caribbean Islanders Day, because he destroyed them. He set the path for everyone to then come over to the United States, because from Puerto Rico, it's a hop, skip, and a jump over to the continental U.S. I get that. But it shouldn't, he shouldn't be taught anymore. And, people bring up Leif Erikson, which is another fantastic point. Leif Erikson was here 400 years before him. And guess what Leif Erikson did? He showed up, he went, there's people who live here. And he fucking left. And he was a Viking. Vikings don't just deuce out when they see people there. But he was like, wow, we went a really long fucking way. There's people here. There's an island here. Cool. Let's deuce. And he left. I'm like, he found no point to stay. There's just certain things that should not be taught in history anymore. And then I've also heard one thing that I disagreed on with presidential candidate Jo Jorgensen, who's a libertarian candidate for the president in 2020. She wanted, her and her vice president, Spike Cohen, they wanted for education to be dictated by the states. Let them have educational freedoms for their state, right? And each state has their own. I understand that. I do. Except not all states are on equal ground. And that doesn't really have anything to do politically. It's just, as we've seen, some states want to see their history differently than what reality was. So you have, let's say for the point of the Civil War, right? You have the northern states who are still teaching the Civil War as pretty much the northern states were these big saviors that stepped into this, that saved slaves during the Civil War. It was about slavery, but it was about so much more than slavery. It was about so much more than slavery. And then the southern states, They weren't just fighting against slavery. That wasn't the whole point of the Civil War. There was so much more. It was land rights and taxations and them wanting to be their own fucking country, not actually a part of the United States, a part of the Union. So there was that as well. But you have the northern states that just teach it as the southern states were evil racists that wanted to own slaves. And then you have the southern states that teach it as the war of northern aggression because they wanted our land and our property. They wanted to be in charge of us and they wanted to take our slaves. So there needs to be a basis. But then when you create a basis, they're trying to please both sides. And then we're back in the same fucking boat we are now, where they give us some bullshit, panhandled, nonsense information that no one learns anything of actual fucking value. It's asinine. It's ridiculous. And it needs to be fixed because into closing, you fix those things with education, not just history. I'm a history major, so a big thing with my history, right? Math is math. I don't think they're doing anything wrong with math and a lot of the STEM classes, because it is what it is, right? Physics and biology is what it is. Math is what it is. You can't really alter from it. You can try to help teachers make it more interesting. Try to help them, sit them down, see what works for you. Try to make it more interesting for students so they can at least understand the basics. That would be a good step. But when it comes to the outer details, your history classes, your English classes, which is also important, it's important to be able to communicate through written language and or audible speaking or auditory speaking, right? You should be able to do those simple things. I know a lot of people that got over their stage fright of talking in front of crowds due to having to give English reports, or they went to speech class because of that, or they joined theater because of it as well. So there's a lot of those things that are helpful. The elective courses are incredibly helpful for children's imagination and motivations for things. I was in drama and theater class, and then that led into advanced drama, which was the club, and we put on plays, and I learned a lot from it. I thought it was great. I learned how to speak, how to project my voice. And one of my primary jobs as an Army medic is to teach. And so that is an important skill that I use every day. It has incredibly helped me through my military career being a good speaker when I'm prepared, right? I'm going off the top of my head right now, but when I'm teaching my medical classes, I have a curriculum, I know what it is, and I teach it, and I teach very well, I think. I think I'm a very good speaker when it comes to teaching. Lecturer, if you may. But there are so many other electives that are also helpful, right? Band, jazz, choir, those are important classes as well. Don't get rid of those because it's been proven that musical instrumentation, learning a musical instrument helps with cognitive function of young teenagers. So that is important as well. And then you have FFA, which I think more schools should have FFA. Obviously, if you're in the middle of downtown Chicago in high school, what's the point of you having an FFA? You're not gonna have a fucking cow in the yard, right? But more schools should have it. There's so many people that I've known that don't know what Future Farmers of America is, and it's a great program. And I think they should try to get more people who aren't already inducted into the farm life. I was a part of soil and agronomy and greenhouse, and I learned about plants and how they grow and different weeds and how to grow different things. And it's helped me with just little things. It's not like I relied on these things, but they're just little tidbits that I know. And then that information can lead into other professional avenues, right? We had welding class and small engines class. Those are important. Woodworking class. A lot of kids realized that they had a talent and a knack for woodworking. Trying to think of all the other classes. Art. Art is also an amazing thing that should never get rid of, right? Your theatrical arts and your art classes should not be gotten rid of. You should be able to take pottery and just basic drawing classes because, again, just as with musical instruments, it increases cognitive function of young teenagers. That's important. We need to put more care into our education because people my age and older. And the people older than us, the generation older than us, did it to us. And now we're doing it to the Generation Z underneath us, right? We think they're fucking idiots. And partially that's not really our fault. That's our parents' fault. And now it's becoming our fault because of the legislation and the education program that's are in place. It's our fault. We need to change it. And partially also it's because they're teenagers and they're fucking idiots. All teenagers are stupid, no matter how educated they are. They could be geniuses and they're stupid because there's teenagers. And that's how we work, right? Teenagers have dumb fucking ideas. But if you see it and you think, man, kids today, they don't understand. Fucking teach them, you asshat. Don't just bitch about it. Fucking change it. Figure out a way. Find someone who can change it and make a difference. I say this as I'm just yelling into a camera screen, not actually doing anything or planning on doing anything, because I'm a little stuck. I can write my legislation up in Idaho and be like, this needs to be changed, but I don't even live in the state anymore. I'm in the military. I have a goal of trying to retire and accomplish this goal, and so I'm a little behind, right? But once I get done and I go back home, if I go back home, because it's changing and I don't like it, but if I end up going back home to Idaho and I feel that burn, 100%, I will get involved to change it for the better, because in the end, that is where my children are being raised, right? If when I retire and I go back home, my kids will be like 15. That's an important time in their life, and I want that to be the best possible situation, not just in home, but at school. They spend more time at school than they do at home. Of course, I want that to be important. That should be important. They should have the most resources. They should have everything that a teacher needs. They should never go and want, because those people are some of the most important people. Because guess what? Those teachers who are important are teaching our children who are going to be running the fucking country and the world at one point. And do you want them to be idiots? I know you don't want them to be idiots, because we complain about politicians being fucking idiots now. So of course you want them to be smart. You want them to be innovative and understanding and compassionate and creative and have common sense. That is the point of a politician, right? It's not to follow a party line. You want them to have some independence. You want them to be able to say, no, fuck this. I have integrity and honor, and I want to follow this point right here because this is important. That is what we want to instill in our children, not the fact that they can remember Common Core math or a basic bunch of fucking dates out of a book. That's not important. Know how those things correlate. Know how those things can increase and make it better, right? Why is this important? How is this important? How can I use this now? That's what's important. Welcome to Rhodes House Soapbox, where I bitch for 45 minutes about education. I hope you enjoyed the show, everyone. I enjoy everyone jumping on and interacting a little bit with me. A little different concept to the show today, but we try to make do with what we do. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please, if you take anything from this, get involved. Don't just sit to the side. Get involved. Get involved with your local community, with your local food banks or veteran outreach programs or community centers, right? Boys and girls clubs. If you have something to give, if you have something to provide it, right? If you have guidance or life trauma, if you've lived a fucked up life and you're trying to make things better for yourself, you should 100% be in outreach. You should be translating that into helping others, because if we don't help others with our trauma, what the fuck is the point of the trauma in the first place? There's no such thing as bad things that end someone's experience on this earth. There are only things that can make us better, right? The saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, is also true, because if it kills you, it's no longer your worry, right? You can't improve upon death. But if it doesn't kill you, the only option that you have two options: go uphill and persevere, or fall down the fucking cliff. So You decide. And obviously, we don't want to fall down the fucking cliff. That's worse. We want to get up on top of the hill where the sunshine is and it's not raining on us with depression, sadness all the time. So we should get to the top of the hill and we should take that map that we built through our pain and our suffering and take that and hand it out to others and give them that. So outreach is important. Outreach in your communities, outreach in your schools, in your kids' sports teams. That's also very important. Sports is so important. Not that everyone should be involved in it, but if they are involved in it, it's got to be fucking good. And not winning. That's not what I mean. I just mean good, not toxic for the children. I mean actually progressive and helpful. But I could go on this forever and ever and ever. Thank you, everyone. Just do something. Do something in your community. Even if it's not your home community, do something. Because you're helping one state to the next, city to city as you move in your PCS. If you're in the military or if you're moving for work, or if you're, I'm going to be here for 3 years, but then I'm going to go back home, help where you're going to be for those 3 years. You can make an impact, an everlasting impact on a young individual or on someone who's not even young, who's set in their lives, and then they impact someone else. That's how we make the world better. One small act of kindness at a time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please follow us on the Underqualified and Overcompensated on Facebook. We also have the Underqualified and Overproofed, our channel where you watch us review different whiskeys. We have reviewed Balcones, bourbon, and the Suntory Whiskey Toki, which is fantastic. And we're reviewing some other whiskeys. It's a great show. I'm super excited about it. Underqualified and Overcooked is going to be coming out soon here in the next couple, I would say probably April-ish. It's going to be coming out. Get a new kitchen. And we'll start filming again and putting out episodes. Thank you, everyone. Love you guys. Peace.